Hi everyone, this is Dr. Katherine.Kelly, and I am back for Soul Wisdom Wednesday, and I had 10 days off, and so you did not see a video last week. In fact, the week before that, I didn't do one because I was very swamped with clients before the holiday. But I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about what I term empathic anxiety. Um, a lot of times people, when they go back to work after a weekend or after basically a holiday, start to feel a lot of that anxiety. Oh my gosh, I have to go back to work, and then feel overwhelmed, and you don't sleep, and you have all that kind of stuff start stirring again. And when people were bringing that up on Monday, I noted to them how much of it was your stress versus the collectives, because you have to remember we are under a pretty stressful time right now. And the whole idea of, especially if you are an empath, someone who takes on the energy of people around you, the souls around you, takes on the collective energy of what's going on in the world, or in a family or a workplace, then you're going to feel like there's extra anxiety on you. And a lot of people forget to do a check on themselves, do that reality check to say, wow, is this really my anxiety? If so, how much of it is mine and how much of it is the world's? And what can I do with that? Because if we don't check our own mental health, our souls can become very saturated with other people's stuff. And so, I've been talking to a lot of people about this because so many folks are, again, getting back to the grind, getting back to the world right now after a break with the holiday. And this isn't a normal return. This is a heavy time, because not only do we have everyday stuff getting back to reality, we also have COVID, and we've got the inauguration, and we've got all these other things that are weighing on us right now. So it's super important for people to do a little reality check with themselves, to step back and say, wait a minute, how much of what I'm feeling right now is mine versus someone else's? I just had a friend tell me that her father's in the hospital, and first thing I said to her, like after checking in and seeing how things were going, I said, make sure you take care of yourself. The energy in hospitals right now is extra sticky and extra heavy. And she's an empath. She has to be careful with that. So she's like, yep, thanks for the reminder. So I think we have to realize that a lot of what we experience, whether it is anxiety or depression, can be at least layered by what other people are experiencing. And this is near and dear to me, because when I left for graduate school, I grew up in Colorado. When I left, I was 23 when I left for graduate school. I would have these random days where I would just feel really heavy and really kind of upset, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. I thought, oh gosh, am I getting depressed? What's happening? And then I started recognizing that when I would call home, one of my siblings, particularly my sister, would have been having some high stress that week. And it was one of those things where it started to occur to me that I was picking up on her stuff, because it became a pattern. Anytime I felt that way, sure enough, I would check in at home in Colorado, and there would be stuff going on. So we have to be very mindful of the fact that we are connected at a soul level with our family, with our friends, with people around us, our neighbors. We have to be very aware that soul to soul energy can be very heavy and very suffocating. And so we have to be super mindful of checking ourselves to ask, okay, is this my mental health? Is there really something going on that I need to be aware of? Or is this a time when I need to separate out mine from the others so that I can cope better and understand that I don't need to be taking on the world's stuff for that matter? So that's why I call it empathic anxiety, is that a lot of times it's not even ours. So a couple strategies in order to help you deal with this is, number one, check yourself and ask, wait a minute, how much of this is mine versus someone else's? Because a lot of times you can immediately step back and go, oh, wait a minute, this much of it is mine, this much of it is someone else's. If you can't step back and understand how much of it is yours, then basically you can just automatically go into a mode of stepping into the space of saying, and I'm going to say this a couple times so that you can remember it, but I have this statement that I use for myself and that I teach clients all the time. But you can say, please lovingly remove anything and everything from all time that's not mine, and return it to its rightful owner. And what you do is you imagine yourself peeling off the layers that are not yours, sending it back to the souls that it may be from, whether again it's a partner or a child, or friends, family, coworkers, whomever it might be. But you may have to say that statement several times in order for you to realize, whew, okay, that's peeling off, it's releasing. Because we have to remember that stress is energy, and our souls are energy, and our souls are like these little static cling balls that will pick up and pull in other people's stuff, particularly when we have the collective energy being so stressed and heavy right now with this COVID situation. So we have to be like vigilant of peeling off the layers. You have to also remember, a lot of people want to take away other people's pain. They want to hold it for other people, so that they don't have to feel it. But whenever we do that, we are actually holding the other people back from learning whatever they are supposed to learn. You can hold space for someone in whatever they're going through, but holding the energy of the emotion is not healthy for you, and it's actually doing a disservice to the other person as well. So, and that's really hard for an empath to understand, because empaths have big hearts and they're very compassionate and they want to take care of others. But you are actually interfering with a person's karma and their own evolution as a soul if you're carrying someone else's stuff. So even though I feel everything that goes on around me very big, I have learned over the years to separate out what's mine and what's not. Now, when COVID started, we had to start wearing masks and be very mindful. If I did go out into public and wear my mask, I would feel myself just becoming tearful and almost overwhelmed with sadness and emotion. And I had to stop myself and go, wait a minute, why am I feeling this? Yes, the situation is sad and stressful and scary, but on the other hand, I was picking up on everybody else's stuff in the grocery store. And so I had to be super, super careful of separating that out and realizing, okay, I've got my own amount of stuff that I need to work on and deal with. I cannot let myself get saturated by other people's stuff. So that empathic anxiety that I'm talking about is that it's realizing that we cannot interfere, we cannot take on other people's stuff. Not only do we harm ourselves, but we basically prevent other souls from doing their work. And so this is a really key time to tell you. And because this has come up in sessions with clients, I've seen 19 clients already since Monday. And, actually more than that. But it's one of those things where when things start coming up repetitively, I know that other people must be experiencing this as well. The other thing I want to throw out there is that Mercury goes back into retrograde at the end of this month. And for those of you who aren't aware of Mercury and what it does, it's a planetary situation, much like full moon, except it's a bigger and longer impact of intensity, that it makes us more sensitive to our stuff. It makes us more sensitive to other people's stuff. It creates a lot of communication issues. It creates a lot of upset in people's lives. It magnifies what we're already going through. And so I want to start talking about this early so that as a soul who's trying to maneuver and navigate these next several months, that you have some tools and you have some reminders of what to do, and also how to keep a check on what is going on with your own mental health, what's going on with your own soul development. Because when we wake up feeling a certain way, we automatically think there's something wrong with us or we're doing something. But we have to step back and realize, okay, some of this probably isn't ours. And so I equip people, I give people tools to help them separate that out. And I think it's just super important for us at the moment to be very vigilant about it, because the energies that are out there are already intense, but they're going to intensify over the next few weeks as we near the Mercury retrograde period, which is another 3-week period of time. And it actually goes in on January 30th. So we have about 3 weeks of this sort of upswing that we're going to start to feel a lot more sensitive, and that empathic anxiety could even get worse. But then we have that intensity of those 3 weeks, and then we have another 3 weeks where it's sort of a die-off period. They call it a shadow period. And I just want to prepare people because, again, things are already heavy. I think it's just super important. Step one, the awareness takes you down the path much further. Just being aware that, okay, if you are an empath, if you're picking up on people's stuff, any emotions that you have may not be fully yours. So peel off with that statement. And I'm going to say it again in just a minute. But that statement that I gave you to help you peel off, Also, journal, journal, journal. This is a perfect time to journal because getting our words on paper help us see what's in front of us and help us identify what's real, what is really an issue and what's not. So I think it's super important to step back and do that. Um, Also, I do have, I'm going to throw this in there. So many of my clients are practitioners in one way or another. And way back when I started to develop the oils, the Soul Health Essential Oils, one of the top oils that's a bestseller is called Empath's Armor. And I created that because I wanted people to have an extra tool to be able to shift back and not get so saturated with other people's stuff. And when we are practitioners and we are compassionate and we are giving, we oftentimes let other people's stuff seep in without realizing how saturated that we are really getting. So this oil, it's called Empath's Armor. It has these, it's a blend that basically helps shield you and helps protect you. And there's an oil in there. One of the oils is called Angelica. And I love this oil because I tell people it's like when you use Angelica, it's like this giant angel just comes up from behind, wraps its huge wings around you and just says, you know, we're going to keep this stuff away from you. We're going to help protect you. So if you're interested in that, you can go to my website at either soulhealthessentials.com and you can search for the Empath's Armor. It's under the Ascension Oils blends. Or you can go to my website, which is www.Dr.KatherineT.Kelly.com, and then hit the link to my website for the oils. But that's another option. But I want to give you that statement one more time so that you can work through understanding that we saturate ourselves, we get static clean energy from other people. And that statement is, please lovingly remove anything and everything from all time and return it to its rightful owner. Now, when I say from all time, I mean this lifetime and past lifetimes, because a lot of times we can carry over karma from other people's stuff in our current lifetime too. So we want to clear it as much as possible from this lifetime and all time. So we want to make sure that we are saying that statement over and over again. So please lovingly remove everything, anything and everything from all time and return it to its rightful owner. And you may have to say that multiple times. I would really encourage memorizing those words, because as we enter that closer range to Mercury in retrograde, we're likely to feel it more and more. So just, you know, it's a great tool to use at any given time. I love to use it on full moon. Full moon is a great time to release and purge energy, but particularly with Mercury happening when it's happening in the next few weeks, there's going to be a lot of intensity. So I want to make sure you have some tools to get through. So let's see here. Next Wednesday night is my Facebook Live for Soul Chat. And so if you're interested in that, you'll probably see, if you haven't seen it already, you will see the listing on my Facebook page. Feel free to sign up and tune in. I think that's a very conversational time to add a topic and really talk more and understand more about the soul. I look forward to getting into a lot deeper information about the soul, how that affects our human condition, anxiety, depression, post-traumatic stress, all kinds of other things. I'm going to be giving you more and more information throughout this year about how to weave the human condition together with the soul condition to understand that. So I hope you have a wonderful afternoon. It is sunny today. I know we may be getting snow in a couple of days here, but I hope you are well. And seems very strange to say Happy New Year, but I will say at least, how about Healthy New Year? Let's go from there. So hope you have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you soon.